Hello, everyone. Mr. No Souls here, and today I'm going to talk about a slightly overlooked game called Hell Is Us. Unfortunately, the devs decided to release this $40 game around the time Silksong launched. I think it launched the same day, which means most people haven't even heard of it, let alone noticed it. And it's a good game, but it has its flaws. It's not perfect. The main issue is that it's primarily story driven with combat tacked on. Um, Not that that's a massive deal breaker, especially with a fairly reasonable $40 price tag and relatively decent recommended settings for actually running the game, which is beautiful. But I'm not going to go into too much detail on that. Um, but the combat flow, the way that it actually fights, is not particularly great. Your stamina is tied to your current HP, so taking damage reduces your total amount of swings that you can effectively do. However, if you hit an opponent, you can charge up a healing meter that, as long as you wait for the timed cue of a little white ring, you could heal back your full HP, which effectively means you're always capable of healing back to full, which then just means you rush down the largest enemy you see, and then, yeah, you took a bunch of hits, but there's probably going to be a lower, lighter enemy somewhere that you can just hit a couple times, wait for yourself to heal back up, and rinse and repeat. It's not particularly deep, and while on paper I can understand what they were going for, in practice it really it's just serviceable. It's okay. But the thing that really shines with Hell Is Us is its dark, heavy, and depressing story. It's unflinchingly grounded in real world parallels. And the setting, a fictional Eastern European country called Hadia, uh, feels very authentic. The civil war that rages pits two factions that are effectively the exact same group, only separated between a religious political like philosophy. It's terrifyingly similar to quite a few parallels that we currently have going on in the world, and the pure senselessness of the tragedy um, really makes it like hauntingly. It's very familiar. Like, it's kind of reminiscent of quite a few things that are happening in the Middle East. It's reminiscent of things that are also happening, in Eastern Europe with Ukraine right now, in different ways. But yeah, it's quite sad. But overall, I would say Hell Is Us is a really worthwhile experience. And if you want to go and play the game, I would have recommended to be able to play the demo, but it seems like the demo has actually been taken down, which is a shame because I really think that they should have kept that up, so that people could go and try the game and, see if they would really like it. It's right now available. Oh, I think they raised the price. It's $50 now. That's disappointing, but it still is a good game. I'm going to stop rambling on it now, though, and I'm just going to play a little bit of it. If you don't want to listen to me talk anymore, perfectly fine. You can hop out. But if you want to see effectively what my like pros and cons are of the game, uh, yeah, I'm going to give it maybe like 5, 6 minutes of gameplay, and we'll see what there is. So you have a little mobile transport here, and you can upgrade and craft things. But this is really the important part. I like to use these two-handed What was it? These are the most basic, but there's not many different types of enemies. There's only 5 different types of enemies in the game, which you'd think the combat variety would be kind of low, but because there's such a good mix and match and there's different types of upgraded variants, like this one is a Wrath variant, you can tell by the red inside. And that right there was a parry. It's a very straightforward combat. Like, there's nothing particularly massive, but it's acceptable. It works, you know. There are some complaints, like sometimes even though I was spamming the sprint button, it just won't trigger, and I think it's because there's a time uh, between when you can do certain actions and when you've done other actions. See, it's cool. Like, they're actually interesting, like, combos, and there's some, like, showy pieces to it, but it's not particularly huge. I don't want to show off, like, the story per se, but and might I add, this is on the highest difficulty. So it's like you have pretty strong weapons, and this is like the second area you go to. And I do also, to be fair, I also have a pretty upgraded weapon. So both of these weapons are decently upgraded, I think, for where I am in the story. I personally prefer the polearm because it's very fast swinging and has a little more reach, while the axe is also very fast swinging. It lacks the reach. There are a few other weapons, like you have a great sword, you have 2 standard swords here. You can see they're the exact same, but like you can get multiple of the same weapon, and because there's things called, and I'll show them here, there's these glyphs, and this is ecstasy. So all the yellow glyphs and the neutral glyphs you could put on this weapon and gain the benefits. So let's see, that's delirium. So let's put masochistic delight on here. And I'll show off like some of the like special moves you can put out. So it's like you can get moves that like take from your HP and stuff like that instead of using that white bar underneath, which is the limbic energy. So it's unique. But yeah, being able to gain back both your stamina and health really trivializes combat if you're good at timing things. If you're not good at timing, this can be quite challenging, but I mean, I've played Neo a ton, Bloodborne. Like, if you have the experience, it really does make things easier. But then all these like small shards and stuff that I'm getting effectively are how you upgrade all your weapons and your armor. So it's like they're really important to be able to solve or well, survive a lot of the fighting. But then over here, there's like a puzzle that I haven't been able to figure out yet. You have to go through the area and hold on. I'm gonna have to handle this first. I think there also might be a slight damage bonus if you match the same energy as your opponent. It's showy, it's cool, but yeah, the combat is relatively simple. Um, but here, like, you have all these puzzles like thrown throughout the world, and you're effectively trying to figure out like how to solve all these different things. And I've gone to multiple different regions, and I haven't been able to figure out how to solve this one yet. But you can go to one region and find the answer to a puzzle that you've been trying to solve for quite a while. And then you have like people just randomly strewn throughout the world.
Need to finish research. Soon! No too much. Suits are coming. Only a matter of time. Need close-ups for research. Zoom lens. Yes!
See, like, I need to go and find a better camera lens for this guy. And then you can go and, like, look and you'll see, like, random things. And sometimes these are just entirely unrelated to a bunch of other things, like you have a bunch of pictures. But then sometimes you actually will find, like, secret solutions to puzzles because you're looking and you're like, oh, yeah, there's actually like a certain change I have to do to this puzzle, and then that will be the answer. So it's like going and actually reading the environment is really important and useful. And there's all sorts of them throughout here. Like there was a environmental puzzle over here to get into like the martial training area, and I'll just run over here really quick to showcase that. Where I found a note in an entirely different area that went and said, oh, yeah, you have to use your compass to then go and figure out another. Hold on. There we go. Some more upgrade material. It's like farming these things really does help you just like level up, and maybe that's why I'm like kind of trivializing the combat in general, is because maybe I over farmed. It's entirely possible that I did that. There we go. But yeah, like you'd go and hit these. Oh well, yeah, they're now like already activated, so there's no point to hitting them again. But you know, this puzzle here literally was relying upon me knowing that I had to use this compass and then do a specific thing that I found out on another note. And it was actually really cool because I tried to like force guess it, but I eventually just figured it out on my own. Well, didn't figure it out on my own. I figured it out through reading a note and then piecing the two things together, that this was the puzzle that was referenced in the note. And then once I figured that part out, I was like, oh, so I just need to do this combination here. And I was like, oh, I solved it now. So, anyways, thank you very much, everyone, for listening to me ramble for a collection of 15 minutes. Have a good one. Bye bye.